Okay, I was pulling these trim rings off this pickups, and I thought I'd make you a video of it because it's kind of important when you go to turn these screws for adjustment or just to remove the trim ring. What I want to do is each side a couple turns at a time, and that's the basis of it, because if you do all one side at one time, you take a chance of cracking the plastic because it will put pressure on one side so much that's what it's going to do. So back them both off together a couple of times each side like that, and then do the other side. I should even put something over the guitar to keep parts from crashing into it if something falls apart, but yeah, I'm not going to. I got a pretty good hold of it. Nothing's going to go anywhere here. Woo, like that, okay? See, and I'm holding it down so it's not just... I'm not going to let that spring just blow up and then break the plastic on the other side. Alright? Okay, there we go. Okay, now carefully holding on to everything. I don't want pieces to crash into the guitar. Okay? I'm going to put it all down there just like that, so all the screws go back in the same holes they came out of. And now I got the pickup free of the trim, and it's ready for polishing. That's going to be my next step. Okay, so we'll cut you back here in a minute. Okay, here we are back to the cut. I got the guitar covered up, especially in the direction I might be pulling this polish across here. Nothing's going to hit the finish. Very important. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull you around here to get really close up on that pickup and show you what I got to think about. And that is that when I'm doing this polish, I don't want to get the polish down inside those screws. So I want to stay away from those screws as much as possible. But what I am going to do, I'm going to take these screws, I'm going to turn each one of these down. So I'm going to tighten them. So that the polish doesn't get inside that thread well. Okay, that one's just about as tight as it should ever go. It's a magnetic screwdriver. It's not helping me get it in the slot. It wants to pull it right off to the side of the slot. So generally I want to turn each one of these the same turn so I know to back them out the same. So that one there, alright, and I've already turned that one out of practice before I made the video. And I'm just going to turn them each maybe one and a half. Not putting any pressure on the guitar. I'm holding it up in the air while I'm doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and get it better. And what's going to happen with this is that if I do get some of that polish in there, I'll clean it out really good, and then as I back these screws out, it should lift whatever polish is in there, and what's left shouldn't be any problem. Okay. That one's very tight, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it alone. Actually, it's not recessed yet, though, so it should turn. Yeah, it's turning. Okay. Okay, so I turned each one of these 1 to 1.5 turns, which is going to make it easy for me to remember to get that back to where it was. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with the polish. And again, you want to try to do some tests before you get to this point. This polish, putting automobile polish on a guitar may seem just a little bit extreme here. It's not bad. You can do it. It's chrome. It's chrome. The chrome here on the guitar is probably not as thick as it is on a automobile. And what this polish does, and all polishes, is it's going to take a light coat of the tarnish off the surface. What I'm doing now is that I seen that as I tighten the screws, some electrolyte came out from inside the pickup, so I want to clean that up before I put some polish on it. Right there is a little, and over here. Okay. So before you get to an industrial stage here where you're using car polish on a guitar pickup, try some other things first. Simply just try to buff it off. I did that. Didn't work. You know, just breathe on it, buff it down with the polishing rag. That doesn't work. Try some disinfectant, something like pine sol, something that has a little bit of a distillate in it, petroleum distillate, and because sometimes maybe that's just oil from your skin on there, and see if that works. If that don't work, try some vinegar, white or the brown, and again, light buffing with the towel, and see if that works. Well, I tried all those processes and that tarnish didn't lift, so I'm at this process now, something a little more industrial, and I'm going to just wipe her down. I'm going to stay away from those screws, especially for now, because I don't even know how well this is going to work on this coat application. If this doesn't work in my favor, I'm going to give up after this try. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm even going to use the Q-tip to pull some of this back. Okay, let's get this just to sit for a minute and do its trick. There's no abrasive in this stuff, not like a brass polish, and you do not want to use a brass polish on this because the brass polish has got some abrasive in it. This stuff is working mostly because it has an ammonia in it that's reacting with the chrome, and it's going to lift a slight layer of that chrome off. Okay, and then while it sits for just a second, and what I want to do before it dries is to remove it, so I'm going to go ahead and let it sit just a little bit. With the other pieces, also, like the bridge, I'm just going to hit it here, and up around here, and this side, the tail side, there's not really a whole lot of the tarnish on there. It's like on the back side, it probably got protected from getting sprayed on. But right here, it looks kind of bad, and here, and the problem with this would be getting polish down inside all the cracks and stuff. We're just gonna not touch it. We're gonna avoid that. Took the posts up, and all we're gonna do on the post are just the tops, very tops. That's it. The rest of it's going to be covered up by the tailpiece. So I'm just going to the top of that. Okay, so while you're having fun with that, let me grab another paper towel. Nothing like watching the polish dry, huh? Okay, so now I'm going to work it off. Okay. And I'm looking for the black tarnish, which I don't have yet, so okay, now we're getting it there to show up. So it's actually starting to remove an atom or two off that surface layer. It's not a whole lot it's removing. Am I seeing the results I want? Yeah, I am. I'm starting to see some. And I can see that's going to be some work here, though, involved. So, let's get to work. Okay, so I'm seeing that it is helping to relieve some of that spotting, but it's not going to remove it all. Not on this coat, so I may have to do it again. I can see that chrome is getting way polished though. That looks nice, wow. You see that? Okay, and now you can see some of those water spots in there I'm trying to get rid of. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull all this off here, which all these screws here, just now that I got it so light too, I'm not so concerned about getting it down inside the screw, because like I said, when I back that screw back off, it'll pull whatever goes down inside there out. Okay, so then I'll cut you back in when I get to the next step. Okay, this is our result after having polished it. I haven't touched this pickup, and that's the finished pickup. Big difference. Big difference. I'm satisfied with it. I'm happy. There's still some slight etching that is going to take a lot of work to get out of there, so I don't think I'm going to spend that kind of time on it. But just the overall finish, look at that. That's satisfaction, right? That's good. And then of course I'm going to clamp the guitar before I put the strings back on it. So I stopped to clip this in for you so you can see it before and after. Before, after. So also what I did to bring this up is it occurred to me that maybe I should work that polish while it was wet, and I did, and I took that Q-tip and I just kept wiping it while it was wet. I did it 3 times. I stayed away from the screw wheels. The first time I worked around and between the screw wells with Q-tip got very dry, so I didn't bury any of the polish down inside the screw well. And then I carefully wiped it away, so I went this way with it, and then this way with it, and got it away as much as I could before I wiped the whole thing down. And then the second and third time, I stayed just this side of the screw wells the whole time, so I didn't get any of that stuff near the screw wells. And anyhow, there's the results. Very nice. I also decided too, what I'm going to do is I'll bring those screws back up once I get the pickup set to height. Then I'll adjust the individual screws so I can get them just right underneath the strings. And that's going to be the best way to do that. Okay, so we'll clip you in on the final product.